Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me this, and it's supposed to be the queen and the bear, and and I'm guessing they actually want to engrave it, and I don't really totally understand. But in the other little clip art he sent me, or his attempt to try to fix it, it was the dog wasn't in it, so I'm just going to do these two figures. This would be a good case. I believe that this one is actually going to be smaller or less fuzzy than this one. And I did this one earlier and it worked. So we're going to go with this one. And the reason I make it smaller because I think Corel does a better job. I'm going to change, just for me, I'm going to change this to inches just so I'll recognize some inches. And so that's less than 2 inches. So I want to make my nudge factor 2 inches. And as always, I'm going to make a duplicate of this. So I just have it to kind of look at. And then I'm going to go, and I'm even going to try a couple of things. I'm going to go convert it to a bitmap and resample the bitmap in CS300 so it's good. And then normally, if you watch some of my videos, I'm going to go, on this one, I normally go clip art. I'm going to go low quality image. And it came out pretty good, and I'm going to go full detail. And what that did, that added some background, but I don't really care because I'm going to take away the background. So what we can do now is go ahead and ungroup this and bring in a yellow box. Whoop. Don't want to do that. I want to take a rectangle, make it yellow, go up to object order back a page, and you can see all the background and trash, and I mean that's part of the graphic. I shouldn't really call it trash. But then I'm just going to start deleting the stuff we do not want or need. And the reason the yellow back, now that the queen's foot, now I'm going to lock my yellow box so I won't have to keep worrying about moving it. Because by moving it, anytime you grab the yellow box, it's going to move. I'm just getting rid of all the trash. And you probably don't have, in this case, probably don't even have to get rid of all the trash the way I'm going to do it, because I'm going to just do the outline. But that's a good point. I don't have to get rid of the trash, but I'm going to get rid of the trash I need to get rid of. And I think you can see through her hand there. This is going to come out pretty good. Like that trash right there, I'm not going to worry about it, or I shouldn't worry about it. Because the way I'm going to do it here in just a second, I forgot what I'm doing, pick tool. You have to be really careful, like around his foot. I'm going to leave as much as I possibly can that doesn't delete too much. You know, we can alter things, but I'm just hitting the delete key as I'm hitting that. Now, there's some gray at her foot. I want to make sure it stays when I do that, and that's actually her high heel. But when I said I was going to just didn't have to delete all the trash, I'm going to actually try that theory right in just a second once I get all the trash. And you know, if you take the Alt key, anything you touch will be deleted. You know, it doesn't have to touch it all. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the dog. Sorry, pup. So I'm holding down the Alt key. And that way, anything that gets, I'm going to go ahead and just delete all the trash. I get so used to doing it that way. Because it's going to be a lot easier in the long run. So I think I've got all the trash away. Now I'm going to unlock my yellow box. I'm going to get it out of the way. Now I am going to take a rectangle, and I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool, and And I'm gonna set it on, I'll set it on black. And what that did, that made an outline of my graphic. Now what I can actually do is fill this in with black and move it out of the way. There's my silhouette. I'm gonna go down and over. I'm not going to move it. I'm gonna compare it to my other graphic. I think it's already pretty good. A few rough spots. Let's take, and it's always easier for me to left click, right click, and make it a hairline. And then we can get, part of his hat is gone. And also, the reason I didn't nudge, or the reason I nudged instead of, is I missed part of her, I missed the intersection of her purse somehow. Let's try that again. See, I must not have, well, what I didn't do is fill it in. So now what I can do is just fill in that intersection of her purse and put it over there. And then there's my, now when I take the Smart Fill tool, it's got that little light of her, between her arm and everything else. So let's just delete this for a second and bring this one in. Because that really kind of adds to your graphic, I think. Now his hat, we need to change it to back to hairline or to hairline. And I would probably just take the shape tool on this hat and delete those nodes. Now, if you will take these two nodes and right click and turn them into a line, you can always shape it later. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. Her feet look terrible. But on this, I'm going to take this smoothing tool, and everybody's got the smoothing tool that has X7 or above. And when you click on it, it's just going to smooth it out a little bit. This is a kind of a, low-key graphic. And, it's not going to be perfect. But the smoothing tool, to me, does a lot better job than you could ever do by removing nodes, because it kind of gives it a real look. And I can just go over it really fast. And you can play around with this till the suns come home. Now, there's your cutout, or if you're going to engrave it, there's your silhouette. And to me, it looks like, if you could recognize this as the Queen and the Bear, then this would be the Queen and the Bear. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.